They don't think you could do it, but tell you to try when they talk. All I hope had to keep it alive. Spend a day in the Bronx, but you wouldn't survive. Can be low when I pop out, they know I've arrived. I go have conversations with Zoe, he gon' tell me pull up and come say what you know. I've been up, I can count all them days in a row. We don't say what we do, we be making the show. They say I'll be
the voice of the Bronx. We have Bronx Slam with the guys are out here. Can I get a yeah?
Leave them all right where they at. Try to diss me, I bet I don't even react. Put a show and I bet you somebody gon' I pick me a book up and drink me some water, invest in the stock. All kids don't be bad.
Peace and love, world. Welcome to another episode of Conversation with Zoe. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody's getting to a great start to the school year. As always, we always want to bring you fresh perspective. As we're in the content space, we definitely want to talk about the content, the Cash Bible today. We have one of the authors of the book, Myq Rodriguez. Shout out to Ash Cash as well, who's also a part of the book. And we're just gonna get into it. Mike, what's up, baby? How you feeling? Great to see you.
Good. Feeling better that the Mets lost yesterday.
That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? That always eases the soul a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And you bump into me in my other sanctuary all the time. You know what I'm saying? Coach Zoe is a real thing. People think it's cap, but
nah, it's not. It's real.
Yeah,
it's real.
It's the greatest second job ever. You know what I'm saying? And as chasing passion, chasing purpose, but why not do something that you love? You feel me? So my day job is pretty strenuous, but on the weekends, just coach baseball is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah,
I'm saying. So
that's my office. That's my office,
the greatest
too.
place.
Yeah.
So how you doing? How you been?
Great, bro. I'm moving and grooving with this.
Right.
Like I always say, I'm moving and shaking, trying not to pull a muscle. You know what I mean?
I hear you. So I always want to bridge the gap and get fresh perspective from a man. A man who's has a family, raising kids, but has also been around the block a little bit as far as life experience.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. So I want to start you off right here. Right. Should creators date other creators?
Anytime people ask me questions like that, I never have straight answers.
Right.
Because there's never a straight answer.
Right.
Because it always depends on the creator.
Right.
And I'll use an example of Chicle Millennium.
Right.
And it's funny, I was having a conversation about this when Chicle when they first started, he was, in his 20s.
Right.
And it was creator with creator. And I told him when I was his age, there's no way I could do it because of where my mindset was.
Right.
As far as with other females and at that young age.
Right.
But it worked. Clearly, they just got married.
Right.
I think it's as long as you guys understand each other and you guys both take it as a business. It'd be different if one's this is what I really want to do, and the other one is like, it's cool. But if y'all both, taking it serious, why not? It's like to me, it's like actors, actresses. You know what I mean? So I think at the short version, I think it's fine.
Right.
I think it's fine.
How should you handle finances in a relationship?
That's not a creative question. Let me call. I'm gonna call a phone a friend. I'm gonna call Ash now. They say to bring them together, right? Like this, like, hey, once you get married, put that together. I think finances is a big situation, is a big problem in relationships. I'm not mad at keeping separate bank accounts and having something together as well. A lot of people, frown upon that, be like, oh, we're one and we did. I get that. But, I'm not against having separate accounts and then having something together because they always say like divorce is, that's like one of the top reasons why people get divorced because of finances. You know what I mean? So it's like, you guys got to just be on the same page. You guys got to trust each other because I don't know if you're in a relationship, in the last relationship, you guys had an account together and then she took the bread, you definitely not doing that again until you know what I mean? So it's a lot, there's a lot of variables involved, but whatever works for people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Is it whoever makes the least does the most chores?
Yo, it's so funny. That's so funny. I'm gonna be honest with you. This conversation when me and my wife first got together, right? And I was bad with money. I was bad. I was like, yo, let me get my whole check and just I want to be there.
Cash it out.
Yeah, 100%, right? And my wife, she wasn't my wife at the time, but she was like, yo, you should give me it because she's better with money. She's like, yo, you should give me a check. You know what I'm saying? Let me show, let me break it down for you. And me, ego, young, you know what I'm saying? Yo, when you make bread, then you bring that in, then you could do that. But don't tell me what to. Yeah, I was really like that until I finally,
Right.
I got to a point mature, yo, baby, you gotta help me. And then she really helped me. So now I'm better with finances. But yeah, you know, listen, there's levels to this.
Right.
So if you bring in more bread, you do more chores. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not mad at that. I'm
Right.
not mad at that. I'm not
Right.
mad at that.
I hear that. I hear that. I say, all right, so I'm going to chime in after this next question.
Okay.
Does 50-50 really exist?
No, not at all. Not at all. There shouldn't be a 50-50,
Right.
right? I think maybe for certain topics, there might be 50-50, but I think from an overall, it's never that. I said, because I always go with levels, right? So you may do 60, she does 40 in something. I do 70, she does 30. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it's very different. It all balances out. But I think somebody has to make a decision. Because imagine if it's 50-50, I don't care.
Right.
What are we going to eat? I don't know.
Right.
Whatever you want. No, whatever you want. You're never gonna eat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So somebody has to make the decision at some point.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So I would say for a person in my position, I think it's only fair. So I got a podcast tonight, right?
Mhm.
Which I'm here. I was at work earlier. But she has bath time and bedtime. So it's only fair that I pick up the kids
Mhm.
and bring dinner.
Mhm.
That way dinner is not an issue.
Right.
And you guys are good.
Mhm.
And she got to get home earlier,
Mhm.
have a little time to herself.
Mhm.
And then I get to go pod later on. You feel me?
Yeah.
So at least I feel like no matter what you're doing, you never want to just compile on somebody's plate. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I figured if I'm going to do something like this, well, you got to be with both the kids and I got to take a few things off your plate.
Yeah.
I feel like that's fair.
You a good guy.
I appreciate it.
I don't care what people be saying.
Thank
You a good guy. Man.
I appreciate it, man. You know, just because you never want your partner stressed out.
Nah, 100%.
Or feel like they're overwhelmed. And things like that. So I'm like, all right, cool. It's Friday. I'll get the kids. I'll bring dinner. And I know you got bed and bath time. You feel me? So at least, you know, you're not, what are we going to have for dinner?
Yeah.
Taken care of.
Yeah, nah, I'm like that. I'm definitely a husband like that. Like,
Right.
because I know I could deal with a lot, right? And if I feel that you're stressed at work or something, anything like that,
Right.
I got it. You know what I mean? Because I could deal with it. I could deal with a lot.
Right.
And once you know your partner, and once you're there with, hey, at the end of the day, it's not about the top. Like it's not about me or you. It's about how do we coexist and how do we make our lives easier for each other? Or if there's an issue, we both tackle that issue. Like what you're saying. Hey, you have this. That's a beautiful thing because you're both putting into the relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Right. If you take a girl on 5 dates,
I'm married.
Back in the day, right? In general, right?
No, go ahead.
If you take a girl on 5 dates,
Uh-huh.
should she pay for any of them?
I'm old school, so I would say no. On 5,
Right.
no. I'm definitely doing all 5.
All 5.
Yeah, I'm old school.
Right.
So
10.
10 dates?
10 dates.
Oh, where we at? Where we at in the relationship?
Right.
It depends.
Okay.
You know what I mean? After 5, were you struggling to pay for that?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then on the 6th one, you know, you in a relationship, be like, yo, are you calling her babe yet? You know what I'm saying? I don't know where you at. And be like, yo, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. We can go there, but I ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? I get paid. You know what I'm saying? The money's caught up in the pipeline. You know what I mean? So if you could be honest.
So, Myq, 30 years ago, whatever, how do you know a woman is invested in you?
For me, it was when they actually cared about anything that I wasn't. You may not have liked it. You may not have cared about it, but you're doing it. Whatever it is, you're interested in this in whatever conversation. You could hate, and I'll use sports as an example. You could hate sports, but you're sitting there and you want to learn about it because you know what? You like it, so I want to learn to like it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't have to be involved fully, but I want to be able to have a conversation with you, you know?
Right.
And that's why, honestly, that's why I married my wife too.
Right.
So
if you ask a woman out and she asks, what's your budget? Is that appropriate?
in this day and age, I have no idea. But to be honest with you, I would have not wild out.
Right.
Like, yeah, what you worried about?
Right.
You know what I mean? I would have been like, yo, look, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do that.
Right.
But you know, women nowadays, I know it's a different beast. I tell my wife
Right.
all the time, I'm like, yo, I'm so glad I'm not single out here.
Right.
These streets is wild, bro.
Right.
I'm good with the gray. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight.
I'm telling, see, a lot of dudes, you met Shorty off the flex, right?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the flex is why she came over, right? So you're leading with money. So what do you think she wants from you?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, let's not play dumb here.
Yeah.
Right? You wanted her to see your AP and your chain and your section and all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And your car. And then you probably went to a place. You probably went to SDK the first date. So if I give you an iPad first Christmas, what do you want the next one?
No, I hear you,
Right?
bro.
Like the expectations only grow higher.
I hear you.
So I feel like guys, you gotta be more realistic with what you're doing. Especially if you have no intentions on anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But that's a crazy thing to ask. What's the budget? That's a little crazy.
Yeah, I asked that in business.
Right.
But
yeah. So
you want to work with this one? Yo, what's the
thing.
budget?
For some people, a date is business.
No, 1,000%. 1,000. I get it. I treat everything like business.
Right.
But not if that everything like business, but it's not like it's so cut and dry.
Right.
But business practices is everyday life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, got two more. What makes OnlyFans so lucrative?
Sex. Sex has been selling forever. You know what I'm saying? So, now me personally, I'm like, but this is me, right? I'm 50. At 21.
I didn't know you were 50.
Huh?
I didn't know you were 50.
Yeah, I just turned 50.
Oh, yeah, fire. Oh, yeah, happy belated birthday as well.
Thank you.
Cheers, my brother. Happy belated birthday.
Appreciate that. Shout out to Duce on the birthday cheers. You know what I mean?
Fat, man.
Nah, like I get it. Like I said, me at 50 right now, I'm like, women is women. I get it. But there's still dudes my age that'd be like, they be wild.
Right.
That's why I think, sex will always sell. Because you got young men, you got people that they don't have a mindset. Like I said, clearly you're attracted to the opposite sex, whatever it is, right?
Right.
It's just something within us that it's just like, like to me, I'm like, I've been there, done that. So I'm not going to get crazy. But, I understand a young person with hormones is like, yo, you know what I mean? And especially now, it's so different.
Right.
There was no OnlyFans
Right.
back in the day. There was only magazines.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or stuff like that. So, that's what it is for me.
Right. Last one.
Mhm.
Should you quit your job to do content?
Mm-mm. Unless you can. I always tell people, and this is my camera. Wolf, that's my camera, right? One? All right. I always tell everybody, your 9 to 5 is your first investor. It is your executive producer. Like, please, once you start to look at the job as an investor and what you're trying to do, because that happened with me. When I was in the music space, I was like, I was talking to my stepfather, and I was like, I just wish I could do this every day because you want to. And he said, how are you paying for studio time? Like, because I was managing artists. How you pay studio time? How you doing this? How you doing that? I was like, from my paycheck. He was like, so your job is financing your dream. Right. And I switched everything for me. And I get it. And I understand it. That's why I preach that, because I do understand, because you may sit there and want to do, shoot content and do this, and it's great, and you're stressed at work because you want to do this. But what happens if you're not making money? And let's just say you do this and you get your severance, or you get paid a week ahead of time. So that first week is great because you don't go to work, you get your check. Right. And the week after that, you didn't get no bread. Let's see that type of stress, right? Because you have no money, and now you're sitting there going crazy. It's different stresses, but yeah, definitely don't quit until it's the right time.
Right. So I definitely want to start to dive into the book. Mm-hmm. Right. So who is Myq Rodriguez? Myq Rodriguez is a powerhouse in the creator economy with a proven track record of helping creators turn their passions into profits. Mm-hmm. So when did this start for you, helping creators become profitable?
It was Chicle. So Chicle, for your people that don't know, Chicle is my nephew through marriage, right? And I came from the music side. I had stopped doing it for like 3 years. I started a baseball team. I didn't tell you about that, but we'll talk about that off camera. I had started a baseball team, and he was starting to do, in January 2017, he said, yo, I want to do this. I'm taking it seriously. And then kept doing, and in July, ironically, as we're speaking about it, he got called up to go to do the Duce podcast. And after he had done that, because he had done a skit with Duce, him and Melanie, and then Rock Nation, they had called him back And I wasn't involved yet. They called him back and was like, yo, Title wants you to come up here. They want to have a conversation. So like I said, I was Uncle Myq. I was cool, right? I said, yo, you want me to go with you? And it random. Sure. And I went there and they wanted him to do a web series. And it was the first time I was in the building, like, business-wise. Because again, I had stopped. Got downstairs. He was like, yo, Myq, I don't even know what the hell he was talking about. And I was like, I do. You know what I mean? Like, it was nothing. And I felt different walking in there. And from then, that was July of 2017. And I was like, all right, Uncle Myq, now I'm going to show you Manager Myq. And that's kind of like how we built it. Like with him, I didn't take any money. Like I was, he was doing hostings. And I never forget, I think his first hosting was like $350 and a bottle of Douce. Like he was like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it was literally showing him because I looked at him like a son. And I cared more, and still to this day, I care more about talent as people than I do talent.
Right.
But for him coming into the game, it was like, damn, I look at this dude like a son.
Right.
And that's kind of like how we did it. And then kind of, helped each other and grow in this space. That's why, like, going back to this book, bro, if it's not for Chicle, I'm not even in this space. I'm not even gaining the knowledge in this space to do this book. You know what I mean? So I always show gratitude, and I don't know if you want to call it homage seriously to this, even though he's 19 years younger than me. But it was something I got back. He always said, I got you back in your bag, and you did, because this is where I'm supposed to be. And I'm in my pocket, Zoe. I'm in my pocket right now. You know what I mean?
Right. That's fire to hear. As of 2024, the global creator economy is worth a staggering $156.37 billion and is growing at an explosive rate of 22.5% annually.
Mm-hmm.
By 2030, it is projected to hit $528.39 billion. That's $500 billion up for grabs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. So how is this statistic brought? Like, how do you get those numbers?
Well, there's data and metrics that they do. Like, I'm sure it changes all the time, because there was 450 billion by 2026. It's all the metrics because this whole game is data, right? That's why, like, for me, I put a different spin on it. There's data, and that's cool, because those numbers, everybody gets excited.
Okay.
That's why the industry is so popular. Oh my God. But there's people involved. And not everybody, like, you can look at the number, that's cool. How do you get there? People don't realize that there's work. It's not, hey, I'm just going to do this and now I'm going to be in the $500 billion industry.
Right.
There's work to be, work to be done here. You know what I mean? So, that's, I know why it's like that. I know why the numbers is crazy, because you get more ROI than you do with anything else, and TV dying and all that type of stuff. And I'm trying to hopefully merge the gap on some things I'm doing.
Right. So let's keep it 100. Everyone loves the idea of being a creator, but not everyone is ready for the work that comes with it.
Yep.
This is going to be episode 214, ladies and gentlemen.
So you ready for the work?
So I'm ready for the work. And, it's kind of one of those things, before you take it away for us, you have to make this a part of your daily routine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about, I want to say 5 to 6 things. I think about God.
Mm-hmm.
I think about my girl,
Mm-hmm.
my kids, my slice of excellence, which is my baby, and my podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And my kids and my family, my mom and everybody, it's all in that top 2 and 3. And then 6 is my baseball team. But I just worry about those 6 things.
Right.
So if you're going to do this, whatever it is,
mm-hmm.
however you're going to exist in this content space,
mm-hmm.
you have to understand that it has to become a part of your life.
100%.
Right? How you think, how you move, how you feel, all those things.
Mm-hmm.
I almost sound like smart real fast. But all those things.
I don't want to sound smart real fast.
No.
That's wild.
My guy's smart.
Dean.
No, my guy's smart. The smart guy. You know what I'm saying? But all of those things has to become a part of your routine, right? When to post content. Are you active on social media, answering comments, like taking the time to engage,
mm-hmm.
right? You got to embrace all of those
mm-hmm.
things,
mm-hmm.
because all of that comes with it, right?
1,000%.
So with this being said, anything you do in life is going to take hard work.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to work at it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's crazy to think 213 episodes, 14. It's crazy.
But you started with one.
But I started with one. And now I say, for anybody, just drop content and you figure it out. Like, I'm a person, I'm very unorthodox, non-traditional. But like, I'd rather 5, 6, 7 months of trying than waiting for the perfect moment to start. Like, oh my God, we're gonna start on January 1st. But even if you start today, you have 6 weeks of experience going into January 1st.
Yeah.
Or however many weeks it is, right? More than that, probably 10 weeks or so, right?
Yeah.
Because we're mid-October.
Yeah.
So you probably got 10 weeks of experience going into January 1st. So can you shy away from the work in this industry?
Not at all. Not at all. And the thing is that what I tell people all the time is that it's a low cost of entry to get into this business, right? Your parent, your parents, somebody, for the most part, buys you a phone. You don't even buy your phone, right? When you're a kid, somebody probably, whatever. But it's a phone. It's a purchase.
Right.
It ain't work. Whatever, maybe you have to work for the money. But I would say for the most part, your phone is bought for you, especially nowadays, right? There's no 10-year-old buying a phone. Hey, here you go, whatever. So now you shoot a video, now you're on your way to becoming a content creator. That's why people think, and then they see those numbers. Right. That's why people think it's so easy, because people don't look at the journey. They just see that this person posted this, they're with that. All they see, and it's superficial social media, let's be honest. I literally just did a video this morning about perception, right? Perception is everything, and it's fantastic. But you got to have some sort of foundation behind that. And like you said, I'll talk about my generation too, right? Like there's a lot of people that think that it's so easy nowadays because, let's use music. I used to have to set up the meeting, and I had to go to the studio and press the CDs. Then I have to go over there. And now everybody just has to do this. I'm like, yeah, I get that. I hear you. But now you have to do this consistently. Once we went to the studio, press the CD, and you go around mixtapes with, but it wasn't, if you did something every day, it's not like today where it's almost 3, 4, 5 times a day that you're supposed to be posting, because different platforms, and you got to be like this to make sure that you get to where you want to get to, and then you have everybody sitting there today, I'll say, because it's different even than from when I started in this industry in 2017. So everybody got a pod. Everybody want to have a pod, right? Everybody got to do this. Yeah, but I'm doing it, and I'm doing unorthodox, however it is. That's why you'll always get to wherever you got to get to. Right. Bro, this whole thing with this book, bro, as much as I could do for everybody else, I'm doing super unorthodox and just doing what I feel like I need to do. Right? Treat it like a sneaker drop. Going to my clients, influencer brand. Yo, got the book. You know what I'm saying? Like how Fat Joe did with the sneakers. Right. I'm doing that with the book. Ain't nobody doing that with the book.
Right.
So I'm going to do that. And literally, yes, I've been in the game. Management, like I tell people, have I, brokered millions of dollars of deals? Yes. Have I turned down millions? Yes. But when it comes to this book and me being me, a brand, I'm starting. So I'm driving, pop the trunk, and I'm showing people like, even at this aspect of it, because there's a lot of people that think they are who they are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And haven't even done anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like that's why I respect you a lot, bro. Because you look 214 episodes in, but you don't have an arrogance. You do your thing. You have a great brand, right? But there's no arrogance to you. You know what I'm saying? And there's some people that don't even got half of what you got. You say that you have a 9 to 5, right? You're not ashamed of that. And there's a lot of people that are like, nah, like they try to front.
Yeah.
It's like, just be you and just do what you got to do because they're so concerned with everybody else. Right. Nah, look at what you said. I'm a D, you know what I'm saying? I do this. Yeah. Right. And that, to me, that's real. That's real. Not all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, I think I love my 9 to 5. I love my job. You feel me? Like, and that's another thing. It aligns with everything that I do. Right? So how fitting is that I talk about the youth. I ask everybody, what's your message to your younger self? What's your message to the youth? And I work with the youth. My nonprofit is based around the youth.
Yeah.
I'm a dean at a high school in Dykeman. So it's like all of those things, I'm in my pocket. You feel me? Like I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
So everybody may feel like everything is going his way, but everything is just an extension of everything that I love. I love the youth, right? I really want to send a shout out to a kid that I saw getting stripped on the way here. If I wasn't so pressed on time, I definitely would have pulled over. But that's why your ass got to take your ass home. Feel me? Daylight savings getting closer. The streets is getting nasty. Robberies is going up because it's getting darker early. These kids is walking around with Nike shiesties on. It's fashion in school, and then when you get out of school, you pull it down, and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Now you ready to run down, feel me? So I seen the kid's boxes, and I seen his best friend getting pushed against the fence. I'm like, damn, bro. But whatever that was over, all them kids looked like they were very upset at him. You know what I'm saying? So parents, really pay attention to your kids and their whereabouts.
100%.
And I know you got to work, but take time to call and check in and do what you got to do, because there's tons of shit going on to these kids out here, you feel me?
Very tasty, cheesy, oniony, all of the above. One word to describe it, scrumptious, right? We from the town, so we just gonna say pause first, but it melts in your mouth. You just love it. You know what I'm saying? I wear this shirt to sleep. How much I love 7th Street Burger, man. It's near and dear to my heart. You see the logo? It's near to my heart. That's how we do it, man. Peace.
That's a fact. I do affirmations every day, and one of
Beautiful.
my affirmations is that my youngest son, because my other kids are 21 and over. Maddox is 14 years old. And one of my affirmations is I say out loud so that I hear, and Maddox, Maddox is my priority. I will focus on Maddox, like, because of those type of things. Because I tell from a parent perspective, and you had mentioned parents, especially talking to parents, it's a lot more difficult now to parent.
Yes.
Whereas before, whether you come from a single parent home or let's say you have two parents, doesn't matter.
Right.
That's where you got your information. One or two adults in your house gave you information.
Right.
Nowadays, with the internet, social media, if you have a 5-year-old and you're giving that 5-year-old information, that 5-year-old goes to school. And now I don't know if that school, if one of your classmates is being raised by the phone, being raised by the TV. I don't know if your 5-year-old brain is receiving 18-year-old information.
Right.
And people don't, and your parents or your circle, family, doesn't think that it's a big deal. But now it downloads it to my 5-year-old. Now my 5-year-old comes home. So now I have to combat that too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because that's really the thing. Like even, like I'll use baseball as an example, right? A phenom, right? 7th, 8th grader now playing varsity. Some people be like, oh, for the competition. What do I think about? I think about that 7th grader is going to be around the senior who might have reclassed, who might be 18, 19 years old. Right. 7th grader is 14, 13, right? 12, 13, 14.
12, 13, yeah.
In that area. And now you're in the dugout listening to an 18 or 19. And I'm not saying like it's just there's certain things. It's your environment that creates you. And if you don't have a parent there for your son, daughter to come home and say, hey, boom, and you sit there and be like, I hear you, but you got to be involved. So going back to what you're saying, parents got to be involved because everything that's happening, I blame parents. And that's from a parent.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
I don't want to go on a tangent, but I had to.
Nah, listen, this is your show, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. But listen, what about the parents creating content with their kids?
I think that's dope.
Right.
Listen, we living in this, it's a content world, right? Everybody is a content creator. You have people that have 9-to-5s, and I'm not saying as far as like a nurse, fireman, policeman.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're doing content. Content is everything right now. What you do with that, if you do it with your kids, great. I have clients, I have a whole family down in Florida. They're amazing. And they do content with their whole family, and they're killing it. Killing it. It's awesome.
So what's that financial breakdown supposed to look like when doing content with your kids? Because that's the problem, right? That's the problem that we're seeing where, parents are taking advantage of their children or not, maybe not. I don't know what the finances, but, if it's 5 people, is it 20% everybody or?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, this is, my opinion. If the kids are involved, first of all, they're not financing anything, right? So if you think about it, if you're doing something, whoever's financing it should get more, right? Because if we're looking at it as a business, parents get more, right?
Right.
But
the kids get paid though. The kids get a cut.
Yeah, they should have money either put away, depending on how much money you're making, right? there could be money put on the side, and it's just like, hey, every time you want whatever it is, it's there. But it's, see, again, there's experiences, right? And there's life lessons there. So if you're 6 years old and you just made $100,000 as a family, I'm not giving a 6-year-old bread, right? Like maybe you put that to the side and invest it, or
Right.
saving, whatever it is that you're going to do. But you got to understand, you're not just going to be out here. I don't care how much bread you got. You're not just getting it.
Right.
You're not just getting it. You got to understand. You got to work for it. You got to learn. Because I don't care how much money anybody has. I think people need to get principles on that. You need to earn your money. You
Right.
got to work for that. I do not care. Right? My kids growing up very different. Mikey grew up in the struggle, right? On the come up. Maddox will ask me for, yo, Dad, I need $30 for the, you know what I'm saying? And it's because I wasn't able to for Mikey. Like I want to, but then I got to kind of dial back too and be like, nah, can't say yes all the time as much as I want to,
Right.
because that's my own stuff. But if I do that, that's hurting him as a man. Because I always say I'm raising future men, not going to be boys. You know what I'm saying? And that's my biggest thing, and that's my biggest concern with society is that people are coddling too much. You know what I'm saying? Men, women, whatever. But you gotta be able to deal with stuff. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to deal with stuff.
Absolutely. So part of the introduction, the overview of the creator economy, think of it as a big, wide open marketplace where your creativity is your currency.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's trying to indoctrinate the mindset that your creativity is your currency.
Absolutely. Yeah, what me and Ash are trying to do is create creator economists,
Right.
right? And understand, like, and I'm preaching this a lot lately, is it's a creator economy. Economy means there's money involved, right? And pardon the pun, but it got created by creators,
Right.
because if there was no money involved, there would be no economy and nobody would care.
Right.
Right. So it's like you got to understand it's hard, just like hip hop. Right. It was money created based off of a culture and hip hop, but it was based off of an art form.
Right.
Same thing here. It's art. Everything is art.
Yes.
And I always say art is never wrong. But now once you get a business involved, now there's certain things that you have to do. There's certain things that you have to maneuver and learn, business practices. And that's something that I don't think is taught, especially in our communities. It's just shoot, go viral. Okay, cool, get bread. I'm good.
Right.
It's a lot more than that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you have opportunities here, but you just got to understand now, not everybody's going to cash app you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
very true.
Like let's start learning how to become a business for real. You know what I mean? So, but a lot of creators have issues. That's why literally, that's why the book is just kind of like a general, this is like step half, not even step one, like bunch of information, terms, all of those type of things in there to help people so that there's at least a start somewhere. You know what I mean?
Right. So 2 parts. At the heart of the creator economy are the creators.
Mm-hmm.
What they all have in common is that they figured out how to connect with an audience and deliver content that resonates.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I feel like everyone has a niche,
mm-hmm.
but it's up to you to find out where you align.
Right.
Right. Because I feel like the people that kind of come in and fade out,
mm-hmm.
it's like you kind of just did something just to do it. And then when it was time to maintain that, it didn't really work out because it didn't really align with who you are as a person. So I feel like those intangibles still matter, you know, because I'm the king of the sidewalks. Now what I saw on my way here are situations that I wanted to avoid.
Right.
Right. I didn't want to be around anybody that was going to cause me harm or anybody else
Right.
for no reason.
Right.
So for the creators, should you just, they say if you're aiming for everybody, you're aiming at nobody.
1000%.
But does that matter on your first clip?
Well, on your first clip, you don't even know.
Right.
Again, it's like you're a baby. You have no clue. As a kid in life, right? You do something, let's say you're in kindergarten, you smack somebody and you get smacked back. oh damn, I didn't know that that's what happens. I just want to smack somebody, you know. Yeah, it's a process. It's a process. You have to figure out what it is, and that's the thing is that I think when you speak to a lot of creators, talent, and everybody is probably capable of doing everything. Oh, I don't want to put myself in a box. You're not putting yourself in a box. You're just starting somewhere.
Right.
Don't sit there and be like, yeah, I do all this. I'm the dancer. I write, I produce, I DJ, I'm the event. Like, I hear you. Like, let's do something first. And you can do all of that. But from people, I've been saying this a lot lately too. Us as humans is that we sometimes need to define people. And I wish people wouldn't, because I'm like, let's not define each other. Let's just try to understand each other.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because sitting here, yo, Zo's this, Dren's that, Wolf's that. Like, I gotta know who you are for. That's me, right? So the niche is very important because at least it gives you some sort of building spot. You know what I mean? It's just that I just think everybody thinks they can do everything. I just think everybody thinks that this is way too easy, and it's not. It's not. There's work. There's and work is different to you than it is to me, than it's different to them. Yeah. Oh, I shot for an hour. That's work. You talk to somebody else, that's nothing, right? Yeah. And I'll shout out Trench Family. Like, they are amazing. And I tell them all the time, they kill it on YouTube. Sometimes they do it all themselves and they edit themselves. Yo, I'm telling you, 2 videos a day, bro. Close to 10 million subscribers on YouTube. They kill it and still go. Like, don't tell me you have 100,000 followers and you sitting back and trying to be, nah. I always say I look up to, because I'm a fan of work ethic. Talent I love too, but if you don't have the work ethic, we can really cultivate something here. Right. You know what I mean? So,
right. So I spoke about my 2 twins earlier on my team. Shout out to Gabe and Calvin. They're my hearts. The kids they see my heart nowadays.
Yeah.
Those are my hearts. But Gabe was that guy last year.
Okay.
Extremely talented.
Okay.
Right? But Calvin is like that picture of Shakur Stevenson.
Mm-hmm.
When he comes in the ring and he's behind Tank and he's just like that guy that's working, but he's watching.
Yeah.
And he's on your heels. Like, Calvin's my leadoff hitter now.
Mm-hmm.
And my catcher. He's caught every inning this season.
Yeah.
And it's his time, bro. Like, as the other twin is just talented, great pitcher, great arm, all of those things. Mm-hmm. The guy that doesn't have all of that, but has to work to have all of that, it has now surpassed you.
Yeah.
So I had to have a conversation with my son G, baby. Like, yo, bro, you all right. You just got to keep working, though.
Yeah.
Because your talent is only going to get you so far.
Yeah.
And it's easier to show at the 11 and 12, 10, you know what I mean? But big boy field, things change. 60-90 is hard to watch sometimes.
Especially that first year.
Especially that first year,
It's like T-League.
The shortstop got to have an arm. Third baseman got to have an arm. And you got to have at least 1 or 2 for sure outfielders.
Yeah.
And your catcher got to catch. Throwouts, whatever.
Yeah,
you got to block.
Yeah, 100%.
And, you got to do your thing behind the plate.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show you, man, like, hard work is always going to shine.
Always.
No matter what. No matter what you're doing.
Always.
It's always going to translate. And I will say this. When everybody loves to say, keep the same energy, you got to keep the same energy in everything you do. Mm-hmm. That's as a father, that's as a man, that's as a businessman, employee, whatever it is you do, all that energy comes into that.
Yeah.
No matter what. And that's a non-negotiable.
No, for sure, because that becomes who you are. That becomes your character, right? And I learned that somebody at my 9 to 5 had told me, he was like, yo, Myq, and he would be in the industry, like, let's call it the industry too, like music side. And we would go to events together and he would be like, yo, Myq, you be like getting busy at these events. You know what I mean? Working the room. He's like, yo, but at work, you be on some half-ass.
Right.
And I was like, yo, because I don't want to be here.
Right.
And he was like, I hear you. He was like, but why don't you look to try to give 100 at work? And then that becomes who you are. And that hit different. And ever since then, if I'm going to do, I'm doing it. Yeah. Because that's my makeup now. You know what I mean? I don't know how to, half-ass shit.
Right.
Oh, I could curse.
I
I'm
really,
sorry.
I
didn't mean to
really,
curse. I'm
it's
sorry.
your show. I told you that. Told you that. So I really like this part,
Mhm.
and it resonated with me as well, where it says there are just a few of many platforms available. The key is finding the ones that align with your content,
Mhm.
your audience, and your business model.
Mhm.
Remember, you don't have to be everywhere. You just have to be where your audience is.
Mhm.
Extremely powerful.
Yeah, 100%. Because again, you have so many options, right? You got, and I'll just use, IG, Twitter or X, whatever you call, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube.
Twitch, Patreon, Subtract, based off the book.
Yeah,
You know?
all of that, right? And
Right.
it's just like sometimes it's like, your audience is here on IG.
Right.
Hey, let's monetize that. And you could spill over, and then you start to, what I've learned even within the past few years is I was trying to build wide, and now I'm so focused on vertical. Where, okay, IG, okay, maybe TikTok is not popping or whatever. You have IG, okay. Well, what can we do here? You know what I mean? Do you want to go on YouTube? Okay, let's use IG to build YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Or what are we building within? Is it a shop here? Is it merch here? Is it whatever it is? But literally, you gotta give the people what they want, but also you gotta stay true to yourself too.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes, that was the saying back in the days too with music. Give the people what they want, and I hear that because they're the consumer, and you ask them, and that's why it's engaging. Hey, what do you want me to see? You may say, hey, who do you want to see on the pod? And this and that, and I get all of that. But as long as Zoe stays true to Zoe, it don't even matter.
Right.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Because there's somebody for everybody out there.
So, micro influencers and niche communities.
Mhm.
So don't stress if you're not pulling in millions of views. If you're reaching the right people, you're already winning.
Yes, 1,000%. Because I get a lot of people that come to me, and I'm gonna go back to Chicle, because it's like somebody will come in, they have 25,000 followers. I'm like, hey, what do you want to do? Oh, I want to get like Chicle. I need like 4 million followers. But maybe your brand or your niche is not 4 million followers. Maybe it's 100,000.
Right.
Maybe it's 200. I don't know what it is. But you can cultivate a business within that. I think people are too fixated on what it looks like rather than what it is. I know people that have less followers than others and have more business savvy and more of a business than somebody that has a bunch more followers than the person. You know what I mean? So it's very difficult. This space is very difficult to navigate because it's super transactional. I don't want to make a blanket statement, but most people don't care. Right? They don't care about the individual. They don't care about town. They just care about your numbers and what you can do for them. And I get it. But I always say you got to use each other. Don't misuse each other. Right? Use people for what it is. And once a creator understands that a brand or whatever, nobody's going to sponsor nothing unless you can help them out, changes the game. You keep looking, and because you're talking to your circle and your three mans, oh, you funnier than, and you're nicer than, and bro, you see what it is, like the landscape. Like you got to step out of it and be like, damn, bro, when you did this video, that was fire. Do that. Or when you did this type of song, look, that's when it's like give the people what they want, because if it's your song, but you're trying to figure it out. To me, the beginning is incredible because you get to do whatever you want,
right,
and figure it out. And who cares? Like me, I have 11,000 followers. I don't got 4 million. So if I change my aesthetic on my page and I tried it, who cares? I'm gonna see what works. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, too, that's me. I'm gonna be me.
Right.
But I don't have to worry about it because once you're there, it's a different beast. Especially when you're having a business at that spot.
Right. Diversification of income streams.
Mm-hmm.
This only boosts income, but also provides stability. If one income stream slows down, you've got others to keep you afloat.
Yes. And there's also, you got to understand that, because I'm sure you've heard that multiple streams of income. Everybody hears about that, and you have to diversify. But going back to the niche, you gotta get one first,
right?
Because I was victim to that. I grew up in the multiple streams of income, so I had a job, right? I was managing music artists. I was doing marketing for jewelry. I was doing multi-level market. You know what I'm saying? Like just literally trying to figure out and see all of the ways to get multiple streams of income.
Right.
But I wasn't focusing on one and working vertical, right?
Right.
I was like this. So, but once you get to a point, then it's beautiful.
Right.
It's beautiful.
2-1 Yankees.
You know what I'm saying?
2-1 Yankees.
It's my type of pod.
Bottom first. So we
Wolf,
got.
you see
we got
that,
two
Wolf?
first
Like
innings.
there, if that's not taking care of
You know what
somebody.
I'm saying? I told you we would when the time was right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, recap of key points, what it takes to win in the creator economy. So you find your niche and own it,
Mhm.
right? Build a brand that's authentic and consistent. Create engaging content that adds value. Gotta stop right there, because that's me. That's me right there. Key takeaway, focus on quality over quantity. Create content that adds real value to your audience's lives, whether it's through laughter, learning, or inspiration. And don't be afraid to experiment with new formats and tools to keep things fresh. So before the managerial and expert and author, and from my perspective, king of the sidewalks, right?
Mhm.
There's a lot of people from hoods across America that are on the sidewalks.
Mhm.
And you may not claim it, but I'm here to claim it.
Mhm.
There is a certain level when, as a young black boy in the Bronx
Mhm.
or young black girl, you have to get to a point where you decide what's for you and what's not,
Mhm.
right? Move towards what makes you comfortable,
Mhm.
right? I'm like that, but in a certain setting and I have to be in danger or you're in danger. Like, Myq, we go out and it's on, right?
Mhm.
But that's a certain mindset. And that mindset I don't wake up like that,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
I don't walk out the door like that. You
Right.
feel me?
Mhm.
Like, that's something happens and that requires that of me.
Right.
But it's not something that I'm looking to antagonize myself
Right.
and take everything ultra personal, right? Like the two kids that bumped each other in the hallway. The kid said, "Excuse me," and the kid says, "I'll smack the shit out of you." I had to tell him, nothing is wrong. Excuse me is not a curse. Last time I checked.
Yeah.
He said nothing wrong to you. And we're not in the streets, we're in school.
Uh-huh.
And one thing you guys have in common is you go to the same school.
Right.
So hey, let it go, right? But listen, like I tell the kids, people find it entertaining to see you crash out.
Of course.
Yo, Myq, you heard what he said? Yo, you gonna let him talk to you like that? What, Myq? Ah. And then next thing you know, impulse, emotions, and being 14, you're gonna act on that. And it never works well.
Yeah.
Never works out.
Mhm.
So it's like de-escalation, conflict resolution.
Mhm.
Myq has to get home to Maddox,
Mhm.
right? His affirmation is worry about Maddox, right? Take care of Maddox.
Mhm.
So he gotta do that.
Yeah.
So Myq has to be like, yo, bro, you got it.
Yeah.
And that don't make you PUSSY. That don't make you soft. That don't invalidate you. That don't do none of that.
Bro.
But it's about kids getting to that point where it's like, that shit don't matter, bro.
But think about it. You got to have role models. You got to get people that you respect to hear that. Because
Right.
if you're raised around that, that's all you know.
Yeah.
And that's who you are. I don't judge you,
Right.
there's a let's call it a better way to protect your energy. If that's how you want to rock, go ahead. I'm not doing that, right? Even when I was younger, I always said, like, for me, if I don't care about you, I don't care how you think about me. So you could think I'm the greatest dude. I'm God's gift. I'm a combo. If I don't care, I hear you. I hear you. Now, if my wife looks at me, my mom, you know what I'm saying? People I care about, it's like, okay, now I have to look, be like, why are you looking at me like that? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Because now it's how the relationship is a priority. So I'm gonna, like Confucius says, action expresses priority. So I'm a move on that. But I don't care, bro. And this is 50-year-old me, but I understand from a 14-year-old. Think about that. Those 14-year-olds turned into 28-year-olds and 35-year-olds that still be like, yo, you just try to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you got to understand and be shown a different way. But if they're not shown that, how can you blame somebody for doing that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Grow your audience with intentional engagement, right? I mean, listen, guys, comments multiply. Wolf is here. I text Wolf all the time. Hey, listen, you have a hidden comment that you should unhide. And that's a fact. Yo, bro, that was a crazy comment right there. That's a good one. But unhide those comments, right? If you got 5 comments and you answer 5 comments, now you got 10.
Yeah.
They engage, now you got 15. So
Mhm.
that multiplies. Comments for me are like a car crash on the highway. You're going, but you're gonna stop and look, right?
Yeah.
You that's the scrolling. Right? You're
Mhm.
scrolling. Oh, word, they got 30 comments. What's going on in here? Boom. Let me see if I comment or I argue or I add. But either way, you gotta engage,
Mhm.
right? And those comments are gonna drive the traffic
Mhm.
to your content,
Yeah, 100%.
right?
100%.
Monetize your influence strategically. Manage your finances like a boss. Protect your legacy with life insurance and financial security. Stop there.
Mhm.
Right? Key takeaway. Don't overlook the importance of financial security. Life is unpredictable. Having a plan in places ensures that your hard work doesn't go to waste. Protect what you're building, both for yourself and the people you care about.
Mhm.
If you talk to people about life insurance, think you're trying to kill them. So we gotta educate our people, man.
But that's what I'm saying. And bro, when you become a creator and you start making money, you got to look at yourself like Apple or Amazon as a bit like you're a business,
Yes.
and you may not have 100 employees, but you know that's why some people are just built to have jobs.
Right.
But do what you got to do, right? Takes out the insurance, or you don't have to worry about it, right? When this is you literally on your own, and nobody is teaching you.
Right.
Nobody's saying. Go back to that number, $500 billion that this is gonna be. That's all most people care about. So if you could make me $3 million, you think I could care? I think I care less about if you have health insurance or not. Most people, I'm different, right? When I speak to people and they're making, whether they're clients, I know them not. First thing I ask them, especially when I see and they're making money, I ask them, yo, your finances in order. Like, I don't need to know what your finances are. Are you good? Do you have, if you have children, you have life insurance? Like, what are we doing here? Like, and especially when you're young, it's not a lot of money.
Right.
I'm sure you're spending a lot more on a lot of other things that are frivolous. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why it is different. I'll keep going back to that. I'm definitely different. So there's people, and I've met people in this space that have good energy and that actually care. And that's who I want to be around. Like, honestly, like, look, seriously, I don't mean to say it again, but Dren, right? It's my guy. Dren don't gotta be here. You know what I'm saying? It's good people. So it's energy, and it's like, yo, we just rock. It doesn't have to always be business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not, yo, Dren, make sure give me something. It's not about that. Like, yo, that's my man. We met on business, but it's my guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you find those type of people, and it's hard, and he'll tell you too, just about in the entertainment space, music space, this whole space,
Right.
ain't nobody. It's hard to find real people. And me, I treat them like Sonny from Bronx. Once I find them, you ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Now you can't leave.
Right.
Because it's like, it's hard to find that. It's hard to find that. And me at this age, I'd rather be around that. That's worth more to me than any bread, because bread will get made 100%, especially when you're around good energy. But I'm not I can make bread with you. Like, I want to I'm in business to make money, but I don't chase it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh, I got a quote from that too.
Oh, that's right.
Hold
This is
on.
my quote. I'm gonna have to make a shirt. I think if you're getting the quote that I think about, definitely making a shirt about this one.
It says,
Let's see if I'm right.
I don't chase the bag. I just pick up the luggage.
100%.
Yeah.
Because we're living in a society, chase the brag, chase the money, money over everything. No, it's not. Not for me.
Right.
And the thing is that when you sit there, you chasing money, that's a drug.
Yes.
Your luggage, that's yours. That's why I say I pick it up, because it's supposed to be for me.
Yes, sir.
Somebody could steal it on the carousel. They don't, but that's why I say I pick up my luggage. That's mine. I'll see you later. But we're so conditioned to, and that's why we have a society full of people that are like that, money hungry, transactional, and that's all it is. And that's their God.
Right.
And it's okay, because you know why? Because they're around other people. That's the same thing. What, you don't want to make no bread? I do. Not the way you want to make bread. Because you'll tell me, you tell me about the bread first. And I don't know, what are we doing? What is that? What does that entail? Who cares? I do. You know what I'm saying? I've had that. I've had businesses, people, Myq, I will wire you money right now. I'll wire it back until we know what's going on. I don't move based off, I'm not going to dance for money. You know what I'm saying? What are we going to do? Oh, I have this type budget. Cool. I want to try to see if we figure it out. But if it doesn't work, then it's okay. It doesn't work. But I'm not just going to sit there and just take the money and then figure it out later.
Right.
I don't move like that.
Right. So sustain long-term growth with resilience and adaptability. Learn from success stories and case studies. Encourage for future creators. You've got what it takes. I remember why you started. Celebrate every win, big or small. I want to stop there real fast. The small wins count, man.
Yeah.
The small wins, the small blessings, the same category.
Mhm.
They all count.
Yeah.
You turned the water left, it was cold, hot, it was white, it was hot. It's a blessing.
Mhm.
The light turned on, you woke up, you opened your eyes, all blessings. You know what I mean? I know people feel like if they ain't win the Mega Millions, they ain't blessed. And it's like you're taking it too far.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You're still blessed. At the end of the day, you ate, you're not really troubling for much.
But that's because of how you were raised,
Right.
and your upbringing. You got somebody over there that if they turn 16 and they don't have, you know, an X6, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. This is why, like I said, like, me and you can relate to that, right? Rice and eggs. You know what I mean?
Great deal, great deal.
You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the things, but you speak to somebody else, it's like, bro, it's just crazy. And that's why I always say people got to understand each other, right? And it's not like, I use this example. It's like if all of us in this room have Honda Accords or Hondas, right? Somebody walks in and they start talking about, yo, I got my Benz, blah, 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 whatever. We may be like, this dude coming in here talking about his Benz. Like, you know what I mean? He's trying to front. Nah, he come from a circle that everybody got Benzes. So he's just talking his talk. But because we're sitting here thinking like, yo, who, you know what I'm saying? Like, we always think that there's something up. Nah, that's his circle.
Right.
Right? But that's just what it is. If people start to understand everybody, talk your talk in your circle. You know what I mean? But, so I could be here for hours.
Be patient with your journey.
I'm 50.
Right.
I wish I was here at 25, but I wouldn't have been able to have the knowledge, the experience to be able to help. And that's where I feel when I say I'm in my bag, in my pocket, I understand what my purpose is on earth.
Mm-hmm.
And not to get too deep, I just know who I am and what I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to help the younger generation. I tell 25-year-olds that I'm just you in the future. And if I just learned something at 49 that you could learn at 26, it's a win. Forget business. Human level. That's what I'm about. I just want to be able to help people. I don't want to teach you because the younger generation don't want to be taught. They know everything. I'm giving you information. That's what it is. I'm not teaching you not a thing.
Right.
Here's some information. Because once you start to do this, yo, I'm telling you, and you do, they check out because they think they know everything. I thought I knew everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I told you stories about how, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro. And that's what I'm trying to do. Like with my 14-year-old, I tell him all the time, I was 14, but I wasn't 14 today. I can learn. I mean, I'm involved. Like, that's the thing. He sometimes is like, how'd you know that? I'm like, yo, bro, I'm out here, B.
Right.
I'm in tune. You know what I mean? But I'm not trying to be 21, but I'm in tune to it. I'm not the old ass dad that has no clue. Like, I'm in your space. I could teach you a thing or two about this game too,
Right.
but you could also teach me. And I respect you, and I respect for you growing up in this time, and you could teach me because I don't know. I'm coming to you from a 50-year-old mindset.
Right.
You're 14. I don't expect you to understand.
Right.
You know?
And that's the beauty and the vulnerability of being a man and a father and learning that you can learn from anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I feel like when you embrace the youth, like you embrace your son, they gonna respect you more and think you're much cooler when you ask them questions instead of judging.
Yeah.
Right. When you try to embrace what they got going on and be like, all right, Maddox, put me on. Like,
Yeah.
that means a lot to them.
Mm-hmm.
That the fact that you're not just gonna be like, y'all weird. This generation is lost. You guys are doomed.
Yeah.
You guys will never be anything. And it's just like,
yeah,
yo,
wild.
sit back and ask questions.
Yeah.
figure out why certain things are happening, why they moving the way they moving, and you'll have a better understanding, a better scope
Yeah.
of what's going on.
Yeah.
Feel me? So I think that's beautiful. My son, I've apologized to my son a few times.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like that'll help him know, like, damn, like, Pop said sorry to me.
Yeah.
Feel me?
Because we don't know everything.
But we don't.
Yeah. Like there'll be times that I'll do, and the same thing. I'll be like, yo, you know what? That's my bad. I shouldn't have reacted, number one, like that. Or whatever it is, I'm like, listen, I want you to understand that adults can make mistakes too, and it's okay.
It's okay.
It's all right. We're not perfect, right? And like you said, asking questions, right? The very beginning of him watching streamers, right? Playing games. In the very beginning, I used to be like, yo, you're watching somebody on TV play a game? And then I had to think about it. Back in my day, I just went to Zoe's crib. And when I wasn't playing, I was behind, you know what I'm saying, next to Zoe, watching Zoe play a game.
Right.
It's just now it's technology. Now you can do it from your crib.
Right.
So I understood it. You know what I mean? Like, because I'll walk in and I'm not mad at you. He watches this dude named Little Man, right? Dude is great. And me and my son, he was like, he does this thing. Yo, it's bad funny. Be like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Maddox loves that I get a kick out of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this dude, I like this guy. You know what I mean? He was like, you can change it if you want. I'm like, nah, we good. Because you need to have that time. I just don't want to be that dad. I don't want to be that dad that I make the bread, come home, kick the feet up. Yo, where's my dinner? You know what I'm saying? All that type of shit. Right. I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So the Content to Cash Bible is out now. You can find it. Strategy, step by step on how to monetize your content. But as always, I know you're an alum of Conversation with Zoe, but we're going to switch the last question. But the first question is, what would be a message to your younger self right into this camp?
Me to my younger self, be patient. Everything that you want, you're going to get.
Message to the young creators.
Make sure you pick something that you enjoy. This is work. You're going to have to do it. So if you like, collecting pencils, shoot content collecting pencils. Don't try to do what somebody else is doing because they got more followers. Whatever it is that you like, you'll be able to cultivate and create a business out of anything that you do. Just there's somebody for you out there.
Right. Listen, shout out to businesses, Instagram, where we can find the book. Anything that needs a shout out, please shout it out.
All right. Shout out to you, bro, for having me.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Shout out to Dren, of course, and do say thank you.
Shout out to Shay. See you guys soon.
But you can find me at on IG. I'm heavy on IG, trying to work the TikTok at just.Myq. I spell Mike MYQ. And the book you can find anywhere you find books, but Amazon, you can do that. The best thing to do with this book, I'm gonna tell you, the hardcover is fire. I forgot to tell you that. Hardcover fire. Get a hardcover and then get a paperback. Paperback, you put notes in that. You know what I mean? Highlight, do whatever you got to do. So.
I got it highlighted right here.
Yeah, nah, I see.
Highlight, have my notes.
I see you. Did you notice the beginning was like me and Ash did like Styles,
it was
Styles and Jada. That's how we did it. It was
like a back and forth. Facts.
You know
I like that.
So,
for me,
word. I appreciate
it's
you, bro.
creative. You know what I'm saying? And we showing kids another lane.
That's what I'm saying.
Authors, content creators, YouTubers, whatever. Dean, business person, entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
There's many ways to be involved in the game.
That's what I'm saying. And the last thing, and that's what I wanted to tell you, creators is not just in front of the camera. Wolf is a creator. You know what I'm saying? There's people behind the camera. There's videographers, there's editors, there's photographers. That's an economy is being built. You can have a career there. Just because you may want to be in front of the camera, but it may not be for you, and that's okay. But you can find a way to get involved in this. And like for me, I'm just trying to show that there could be a Spanish manager, agent, represent. Like, I don't see a lot of us. You know what I mean? I see him in front of the camera, and clearly I'm in front of the camera, but, I'm a representative, agency, executive side of things, so.
That's facts.
Would it fit?
Definitely shout out. Listen, Wolf Taylor on the gram, Halfway Up podcast on all streaming platforms. Make sure you tap in. Halfway Up merch, all that. I got my merch on right now.
Yeah.
Hit me up. We're going to the trunk. I'm on my Nipsey Hustle. Feel me?
Yeah.
So it's in the trunk. Don't worry about that. But Halfway Up podcast, we outside. Peace. Peace and love, world. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, support the channel, show your love. You know what I'm saying? We have a great conversation week in and week out. You never know who's coming. You never know what we're going to do. But at the end of the day, it's all about peace and love. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment.